and then I hit record, and then we're on. So it's not like a fucking, whoa, we're on.
Yeah.
So, and they can fix it and do whatever they want. But
I like the elevator music. I love it.
So we're here with Business Under Fire with the Blake Flanagan from Next Level Marine these days. And
Thanks for having me, man.
yeah, dude, we're excited to have you. I'm glad that you're on here. I've been watching your journey as you go, and I was thinking about it last night. And I mean, for the past 20 years, I guess that I've known you, you've really been in the I don't know if you want to call it the power sports business, but it's like
Toy business.
It's a toy business.
Yeah, toy business.
And what's that? So what's that been like? What are the customer like? How's that been?
Man, it's fun. We sell fun. I think that's what makes the job enjoyable, right? I love what I do every day. I wake up. I started selling, been into toys since I was, my son's age, I guess, right? Old enough to enjoy them and know what they are.
Yeah.
I started selling my first toy vert adventure with Woods in 2006.
Yeah.
I graduated high school in 2006.
So you started your first job. That's where we're going on this.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up in New Braunfels?
No, I grew up in Schulenburg, Texas.
And then moved to New Braunfels, or Woods was there?
Graduated in 06. My first job actually was when I was 12, working at the garden company. So I worked at a place where I could get a job under the radar, not legally, where I could get paid cash. So I had something to do. So I was watering plants and working at the nursery.
I've done plenty of that.
Mm-hmm. We got a little bit in common there. And then I started to mow yards with a gentleman by the name of Quentin Richey, who was also into landscaping, and
he's on my Facebook. I guess that's how I know him. I keep
You've
wondering
met him over the years.
I keep wondering how I know this dude, and I see all of his. He'll post when it's raining and shit.
He's not working. Yeah.
Since I did landscape, I'm like, dude, poor guy.
Oh yeah.
And now I finally made the connection.
So I worked with him. I quit the garden company at probably 14 to go work with him, and I worked with him from when I was 14 to 18, and I got out of school in the work program and worked half days and did that basically knew I liked toys and knew I liked nice stuff, and nice stuff requires money, so I had to get a job.
I was thinking about that last night because you sell fun. You've been in the power sports business, so that means it's always a luxury item.
Always, yep.
Which is interesting because a lot of people say you got to sell something they have to have, like insurance or whatever. But you've always been in the luxury item business.
Yep.
And so you started with Woods. One thing that I really like about your story that we'll get to, I guess, now is that a lot of people think to be successful, you have to go own your own business.
Yep.
And so during this, I want to hear your story of how you transitioned from a worker into a owner or part owner of what you do now, Next Level Marine. Because a lot of people think, dude, I got to have $1 gazillion. I'm going to have to start my own power sports business, which how many locations do y'all have?
6.
And can you imagine the money that it cost us to start one?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And so, but we'll get into that in a little while. So you went to Woods, and that was a brand new place in New Braunfels too.
Woods was, pretty new. They were Cycle Country. I actually worked for Cycle Country for a short time, or right as Woods had bought it. So I started working for Mark Woods. Used to work for Cycle Country, which actually was right here in 46 by Clear Springs. I did work there. They moved. That's the original one that it moved.
In the ambulance place there now? Damn, that was a long time ago.
Still the same.
Yeah.
Every time I drive by it, it's kind of funny when I would drive to New Braunfels. They were the power sports store, and I would always drool as a kid, right?
Yes.
They always had the stuff, and then I ended up working there.
Yes.
So started at Woods in 06. I started in as parts. I did not know how to sell, right? I mean, I was 17, 18 years old, so started in parts and worked there. They didn't know anything. There was a very big motorcycle store. So back then, side-by-sides didn't exist.
Yeah.
They weren't, they were Rangers, right? They weren't the cool stuff that they are now. So started in parts and knew all the off-road, didn't know street, and nobody in that industry or that department knew it. So got a job. This girl named Jessica actually hired me, and then Stan, a couple people kind of showed me the ropes, and started working in parts. I worked there in that department for roughly 2 years. And kind of a funny story. I've said this on another podcast, but I remember walking by the sales desk and saw a piece of paper with a bunch of spiffs and money if you sold X amount. And I was like, well, shit, I could sell this stuff. Man, that's what you get paid? You know, and I was like, well, I could do that. And I knew, what the guys were doing. And I was like, man, I could get out here and run circles. I feel like in my mind, I'm saying this, right? So my sales manager, John Camarino, who trained me a ton, learned a lot, and Mark Sheffield, who, I praise, and him and Mark Woods have done a lot for me and got me to where, without them, right, I wouldn't have learned and had the opportunity.
For sure.
So when you talk about starting somewhere, it's hard to go. I tell people all the time, if you're going to go start your own business, you do need to work for someone and learn the ropes, right?
For sure.
You're not going to just go day one, right? You don't get out of college, go open a business, and it works.
Man, I didn't know how to run a landscaping company. And I went and got hired with a very nice landscaping company in San Antonio because I had no clue how to get past 3 trucks. And so I went and applied and got hired, and that's how I learned it.
Yeah.
But carry on.
So, moved that moment was kind of a funny story. My sales manager told my GM without me knowing, he said, hey, I think Blake's going to quit if you don't let him go to sales.
Oh, shit.
And I didn't know this. This was after the fact. So,
but you weren't, or you were going to?
No, I wasn't going to. I wasn't going to. He just wanted me to go over there.
We could have sold some parts.
Yeah, exactly. So my GM walks directly from that conversation straight to me. He sees it happening. He's like, oh, shit, I'm going to get this guy fired. And he says, hey, you want to start in sales? And I said, yeah. He goes, all right, you start Tuesday.
Oh, shit.
So that's how I got into sales.
One of my favorite things to do when I go visit places and somebody's not there, I say, hey, is Blake here? He goes, no, he's not here. Did he put his 2 weeks notice in already? It causes shit everywhere.
He hadn't told y'all yet?
Yeah. I love it.
Oh, sorry.
So you moved to sales, and at that time, motorcycles. I mean, Woods was selling mostly motorcycles. Yeah. Jet skis,
yep.
But the side-by-sides really hadn't hit.
They came out in 2008 when they became sport. Before that, it was a ranch work vehicle, right? Which was a tool, right? It was like a pickup truck. So there was some stuff you could do to it. I kind of came in and, I've built trucks and been into that since I was old enough to know what they were, like I said. So I was tricking Rangers out, doing all this stuff that they were like, oh, shit, and you could do this to it, right? And people would come over to me and I would upsell them and put cabs, wheels, tires, heaters, throw the book at it, and people would eat it up.
I think that might be the shortest version of what actually happened with you at Woods and side-by-sides.
Yeah,
that was
for
like
sure.
Maybe 15 seconds, and that's not how I saw it from the outside coming in. So
that was just a start because I moved up and went from there to different positions. So I was just the young 18-year-old. I was probably 20 when I started in sales.
Yeah. Elaborate on what happened through however many years on side-by-sides with you at Woods, because that was impressive. And I don't know who said, yeah, Blake, here's the checkbook, go do it, because you were doing crazy shit to these side-by-sides and selling side-by-sides for close to $100,000 when $100,000 was like 200 now.
Yeah, so in 2008, they first came out, and that was the Razor 800. I still remember the day it came out. It was $94.99. It was 50 inches wide, and the accessory book came out. So that was the first. Polaris kind of set the bar with what's going to be what and where that model and that market has gone from then to now. So in 2008, that came out, and then roughly we started selling tons of them. I actually remember the first load of side-by-sides coming in, whether if he sees this online, if Sheffield sees this. We had the first 5 come in. We pre-sold all of them, and we were strategically told to not drive them, and if we do, in a straight line, because they were very narrow, could flip, and could damage it, right? Well, they came in, and the first bunch came in, and one of the sales guys jumped in it, went and busted a donut, and
oh my God.
Never forget it. Yeah.
That's so
was
normal.
Not me, but it was working in a dealership from then till even till today is there's never a dull moment.
That's so normal with a bunch of sales dudes.
Oh yeah.
Don't go
do this and then go do this.
So normal. So you started getting those in as flipping machines.
Yeah, so that came in, right? And we were really into riding. So I had an ATV that we built up. And a lot of the guys that I worked with, right, you talk about sales, there is a lot of peer pressure in dealerships. And the first day that we're not busy and not selling stuff, well, we're going to convince somebody to buy something they shouldn't. And then if you do it, I do it, right? That's how that works. So I think there was a point in time where on a Saturday we bought 5 Zumas and rode River Road like we were banditos. And Zumas, for those who don't know, do about 36 miles an hour on a good day. Then we'd ride 4-wheelers. So then we started to really get into going to the events and the rides and kind of being where our customers were. So I think that was when I really started to not only sell the fun and the lifestyle, but also be with the people and the customers in the lifestyle.
I've seen y'all doing that now, and that's impressive too. And I've always said, like, people that own bars, restaurants, and this and that, if you put in that extra effort to do stuff like that, it really shows up and shines. So I've seen y'all doing that. I clicked on something today, and y'all had like 5 events lined up. So
yeah, we've dropped.
But nobody else is doing that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's what we pride ourselves on. Really, I learned it back then, right? And now it's people want to buy from people they like, and people want to interact with people they're spending money with, and they also want to feel like you're a part of it. They want to trust you, right? People buy from people they trust.
Yeah.
So it's back to the side-by-side vision, right? That was 2008. Then they started to get bigger. In 2010, we started to really go to all the parks. And then it's kind of a monkey see, monkey do. People they see the fun. They want to be a part of it, right? So when they came in, I was always just super passionate about it, just like I am today about trucks, boats, right? I get pumped about going to do it. It's not, when I get off work, I'll still go do it. The weekends I'm doing it. I'm never like, oh, I don't want to see a boat again, or I don't want to talk about that. I'll talk about it all day, every day. So I think that's what makes it, what makes it exciting, and people feed off the enthusiasm and the fun,
I feel like you really stepped up the side-by-side game, though. Yeah, there was California going on, but and unless I'm just oblivious to it, it feels like you started the modification and stuff of the side-by-sides and making them absolutely insane. And maybe California was doing it, but then you were doing it down here, and that's what really made them explode. There's stuff in Tennessee where they were doing it, but you were kind of one of the main hubs in the U.S. doing that down in New Braunfels, which was pretty badass to see. Yeah. And it was your idea as a parts dude and as a sales guy to start putting this shit together. And then lo and behold, people were leaving with $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 rigs out of your parking lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So California was doing all the go fast stuff. And in Texas, what's funny is we lived in New Braunfels, right? There wasn't a mud park near, but we would go travel to the places, and that was kind of part of the fun. So in 2008 and 2012, it got big. And then in 2014, the Razor 1000 came out, and that's when the horsepower got bigger. And that's when I still remember all the pricing, like it was $15,999. We're like, oh man, people are never going to buy this, right? And then we go throw $30,000 and stuff at it, and then it just breaks the internet. And that really was before, I've had Facebook forever. I think Instagram really blew up 2010, 2012, 08, somewhere in there. So we started putting more stuff on the internet, and that's when I started to grow social media, back when it was easy to grow a page, in my opinion. Now if you're not spending money on it or sponsoring it, right, it's so controlled. So we started just building. The very first rig I built we started with 28-inch tires, then we went to 30s, then we went to 32s, then there was a 34, which was, if you're on 34s, man, you were the big dog, you know what I mean?
And then y'all put them on 4-wheelers.
Then we put them on 4-wheelers.
Monster 4-wheelers. I never liked the way those things look, but still to see it was kind of impressive.
Yeah, the side-by-side world took over from the ATV world because you could have people in it. Then the 4-door came out.
And you have to have your little ice chest in the back.
Got to have the cooler, right? Yeah. It's easy to do this. You know what I mean? Can't do that. You can't hold a beer doing this. Doesn't work.
I always like when you see something a side-by-side turned over and the cooler's busted over. Like, damn it. So then they start putting straps on every fucking cooler.
And then the rig still flip. And then Yeti came out, right? Yeah. It was indestructible.
Yeah.
The Igloo lids would break. but the Yeti would not. Man.
Yeah. Innovation at its finest.
Yeah.
100%. Damn.
So then we went from, to kind of give you the tier level of how it started, we went from 37s to 42s, and then we started to paint match everything. Now we're pulling 40 pieces off and putting $5,000 paint jobs to go send it to the woods. But when you went to these events, it's no different than showing up to a car show or a boat event. You want to show up and show out. And I was in the industry, so the louder they were and the crazier they were, the more speakers I put on, the more people I met.
What was
so
the name of that highlighter green one?
Dude, I had so
It was
many,
a huge one.
I had a lot of names. I had Bad Baby. I had
y'all had names for everything.
Yeah, Toxic. There was a Toxic one. I had one that I put a 4-door Razor that I put a mini bar in the back. So it had ice buckets and a shot top in the back. So I ripped the seats out. So that was a pretty wild one. Tons of speakers, tons of subs, body kits. I mean, man, if you look at all, I actually have albums of all the ones I did in my phone, so I could go back and reference.
They were nice.
Yeah,
for sure. And then, so while you're doing this, y'all start selling. I don't know who put Woods on the map or not, but they did a good job as a team, and it seems like stuff really picked up there. But one of the other things that I like about you is that, you might have a Razor come back after 6 months. They say, hey, Blake, I need you to sell this. So while you're selling all this shit at Woods, just about a quarter mile away at Buc-ee's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Blake's always hustling in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And you have a saying that you say that I've sold more shit at you say something about I've sold more shit at Buc-ee's than most people have sold.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've definitely done some side deals at Buc-ee's, no doubt. Well, a lot of people would sell these. I mean, the easy part is I can convince them, right? And they get bought in. But then people get bored with it, or life changes, or the wife says, hey, you need to get rid of it, or we're going to go do this or that or whatever. So I would always help facilitate, get rid of it. I tried to make it, still today, make it convenient, right? When you need whatever, I tried to be available, and I think that still goes today, right? I'll have people call me for, you wouldn't believe what they call me and ask me, especially since we've done I get the limo calls, to a lawyer call, to a boat call, to a side-by-side, to a truck. I'm kind of the yellow pages at times, I feel like.
The Rolodex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lots of networking, man. As I was building it up, I started to sell, I mean, there was months when I would sell, I was making money, but I was selling 40 to 50 units a month. Mm-hmm. So anybody that is in the power sports that's listening to this, or car business, if you're selling 40 or 50 a month, you're moving. You know what I mean? Because you got 24 work days. So do the math, you know what I mean, and interacting and turning and burning it. So.
Well, that's what it takes to get noticed, and then and make stuff happen, is not sitting on your hands and making shit happen, inside deals here and there, whatever you can.
Yep.
So you were cranking over there at Woods for a long time, and then I remember talking to you and hearing a couple things. I don't say shit about this, blah, 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 because you've been at Woods a long time. Like you said, you love the family, and they help you grow, which is commendable and respectable
for sure,
and badass. And then so you were not an owner at Woods, and what opportunity occurred with your next venture at Next Level? Can you walk us through how that occurred, where you're at today, what position you have, and how Next Level really transpired? Because I think y'all, they didn't have a Next Level, did they?
Yeah, no, we started it. Yep.
And so can you run us through that process?
Yeah. So in 2017 or 18, so my partner, Eric Chase, who I sold stuff to, met at Woods. I remember I was probably 20 or 21, sold him a Ranger, interacted with him, not a ton. And he had said, hey, if you ever want to do something, I'll start it with you and back you. And I was like, all right, yeah. But I was young. I was making good money. I was like, oh, man, I don't know what I want to do yet, right? But I appreciate it. And I just I think I sold him probably 40 things over the years.
Yeah.
So we just got closer and closer. And in 2018 or 19, I kind of just felt like, I think I was 28 or 29 years old. And I felt like I was kind of reaching capacity of how much I could sell every day, how much I could actually breach, right? I'm hitting a ceiling a little bit. So I knew that at that point I had tons of people I knew. I had pretty much known the business very, very well, right? Knew kind of what it took to do it, but I knew I needed a brand to go do it. So behind the scenes, I was chasing a Polaris dealership, a franchise, basically, to start a Polaris dealership. Mm-hmm. And I think I started that, I don't know, probably 2 years into it, but I was not putting my name on it. I was having someone else, and I was going to jump and do it. But it took a while, right? It took a while. And then in 19, we finally got basically an agreement from Polaris that said, hey, you can start a Polaris dealership. It has to be in Boerne, Texas. That's where we have to do it. So at that point, when the deal got done or we had the opportunity, I knew it was go time, right? And I knew that if I didn't take the risk, I would always say I was a, you know what, why didn't I do it? I was scared. And at the time, this is in 19 that I got the news, call it 2020, right as the world's about to end with COVID. So my wife was pregnant. I was about to quit my job and go start a Next Level Power Sports. Next Level came about kind of from us brainstorming. We always knew that we did shit over the years, over the top, extreme, next level style. So that name kind of stuck pretty early on as a group when we were discussing it. And then, you know, we went and got I think it's 24-hour logo or whatever it is, right? The video logo. We sent it out. Yeah. That's where it got. That's where we picked kind of, and now we've kind of adapted it and changed it, and incorporated stuff along the way as we've acquired stuff. But in 2020, I left Woods to go start a Polaris dealership in Boerne. So left Woods, told them, right? It was kind of a shock. I thought I'd work there forever. I think they thought I would never leave, and they were great to me. It was a risk I knew I had to take. I knew if I failed, I'll figure it out. I'll go do something, right?
Yeah.
You know, but I knew how to do it.
I always tell people I'll just go mow grass.
Yeah, and I knew how to do that.
Yeah, you got experience doing that. And now I tell people, if I call you and tell you I need to mow your yard, guess what? I need to mow your fucking yard.
I'm not joking.
Yeah, like I don't care who your lawn guy is. I got bills to pay. I'm mowing your grass.
I'm out front.
So that's my. Actually, the lawnmower's on.
I gotta go. Knock knock.
But that is my backup plan, unfortunately. But hey, if we got to make money, hustlers make money. Yeah. And so now I know I'll just show up at your house with the mower on.
What's funny is I used to mow my yard for a while, and then I don't know, I probably quit doing it in 2019, 2020. I was like, well, man, for an hour or whatever it takes me, I could probably do something else, make more money. So I just started to manage time differently. But I'll still get out there with a weed eater. In fact, once a year, we do an event at Lake LBJ, and we mow the entire sandbar. Yeah. And the last year, I subbed out the help last year, but the year prior, I was out there with a GoPro on it, picture of me and a weed eater, and I bought the mower at a pawn store, and I'm push mowing the whole sandbar. So I
love mowing grass. I mow a bunch of the airplane hangars here, but But as entrepreneur guys, that's mowing the grass at these airplane hangars here. Yeah, is how I ended up. I'm building a couple of airplane hangars here, and I'm gonna do well on them. Yeah. So
started back to the power sports deal. Left to go do it. I ended up finding a piece of property right on I-10 in Boerne where we were going to put it. The drive to Boerne was not something I was excited to do, but that was the only place I could do it, so we had to figure it out. So long story short, we started, we had a piece of property under contract. We were in feasibility period. We started to kind of get permitted to death of what we wanted to do, to what we had to do, to sprinkler in the building, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. So one point in time, we were driving home. Me and Eric had left, and where my current New Braunfels store is, right by Buc-ee's, it was vacant. It was for lease. And backing up a little bit, we had always wanted to do a boat dealership in New Braunfels. We were going to do some type of brand because there was just the Texas Ski Ranch, and that was it. And, we had lived here, boated here. Eric's been on the lake. I've always, been on the water, had a Mastercraft forever.
I remember these Mastercrafts.
The lake days.
Always wrapped.
Yeah. It was obnoxious. Yeah. Yeah. And it said Flanagan Shenanigans on the back in a Vegas logo.
Oh, my gosh.
Good times on that thing, Tommy. So we were driving, and no BS, Eric said, hey, we should call Tyga and tell him we want to put a boat dealership in New Braunfels at this location. So literally, Eric was from Abilene area and had a connection up there where Tyga's built.
Yeah, next to the airport.
Exactly, yeah, right there. So we, I had actually, prior to me and Eric even talking, had spoke to a gentleman by the name of Tony, who now has a Tyga dealership, and actually met him in San Marcos many years ago before the Polaris deal, and wanted to do a Tyga dealership in New Braunfels. So there was a connection there that Eric set up, and literally from that phone call to 2 days later, they drove down and at the center of the store said, all right, deal, let's do it.
Damn.
like that type of that quick.
And y'all were getting fed up with the BS on permitting and all that shit in Bernie.
We were still going to roll with it. So at that exact moment, we're like, okay, well, we got to move fast. This is July 2020. So this is everyone's masked up. The world's about to end, and we're going to start a boat dealership. Great idea, right? So we go through all the stuff. We start remodeling the building, hiring people, right? I mean, I had me and nobody, me, Addison, and Eric, right? And then Parker, Eric's son, and Zach, now Eric's son-in-law who married Addison. I mean, they were kind of, it was like them and us, and we were like, oh shit, are we doing this or that? And we ended up doing the Taiga dealership. We had our first boat land probably in August, and we had started with just one brand. And literally, I remember getting everything kind of going, right? We're ordering stuff, getting the computer set up. I mean, all the stuff I thought I knew working at Woods, I didn't really know shit.
I know. It goes deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes deep to sell a boat, even to get the financing done.
All the pieces. Oh, don't forget about insurance and insuring the building. You know, all the stuff of operating and by the way, here's the bills, you know, and there's the electric bill.
Sales tax, property tax.
All the stuff. So we started to Eric has a ton of businesses, right? He's done very well. You know, so he always had him, right? I probably wouldn't have left if I didn't have him to go lean on, right? And I knew that he did shit big. He scaled shit. So I was like, all right, I'm going to latch onto this dude and let's fly, or, you know, let's see what's going to happen. I just knew we were going to make something work because I just had that feeling that we were going to succeed and make shit happen. So as we got Taiga, we got a boat in. My goal was to sell a boat the first day that we had the boat of being open, and I sold it day 2. So I missed it by one day, but I sold day 2 of being open, and we sold a boat. And from there with Taiga, I remember at that opportunity, Eric telling them that, hey, we want to scale. We want to grow the business. If there's other markets or stuff that comes available, let us know. We want more than just this. So once New Braunfels got up and rolling, we ended up picking up a pontoon line. We started to kind of dabble. I was selling used side-by-sides out front. I was selling used cars. I was kind of, because I couldn't get inventory. So I was literally, I looked a little bit of a flea market, but hey, whatever, it was new. And
you couldn't get anything.
Couldn't get anything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was
flea market out
front. We had whatever, and I was taking used boats from people, and I'm like, man, I don't want to sell the shit, but whatever, I need stuff up front.
Yeah.
We need to turn dollars. I need door swings. I need people calling. So, you know, and I was hammering the internet. So we started Next Level. We started with that. And within probably, I don't want to be wrong on the dates, within probably 6 to 8 months or a year, we had acquired Eagle Marine, which is in Dallas and Fort Worth, which really is in Fort Worth at the time. There was a small satellite store. Dallas and Fort Worth, for those who don't know, is the #1 towboat market in the world. There's more towboats sold in Dallas-Fort Worth than anywhere.
I didn't know that, and I really didn't know there were so many lakes in Dallas until I started flying over there a lot. Man, there's a shit ton of lakes and a ton of boats on them. So that's the #1 towboat place in the United States.
United States, yep.
Damn.
And really, Texas is a pretty dominant market for towboats. You know, if you go further north, you've got dominant pontoon segment. You go to Florida, big boats, right, dominate. But in Texas, you know, towboats are very, very, it is a huge, huge market. So when we had that opportunity to go up there and also get Taiga, we knew that it was something we needed to make happen. So we ended up getting that deal done. And in the boat business.
Was that your first transaction of an existing business?
Yep.
And were you heavily involved in that?
Not as much as I am now. That one was more with Eric and Michael. I was behind the scenes, mainly behind the scenes because, one, New Braunfels was still up and growing, right? We're trying to get it rolling and going and focusing on it. So we had the first New Braunfels. We started as a building, and it was our first Next Level Marine.
I always enjoy the buying and selling of businesses and what goes into it and learning how that process is. And it's rare that you meet business owners or business that have even bought a business or sold a business. So a lot of them are in it, and there's artwork and traits to get them bought, and there's artwork to get them sold. So, but it's badass that you've seen that, because there's just a bunch of people don't see it.
Yeah, without Eric, I wouldn't know what the hell I'm doing. So I've learned everything through him and Michael and some of the people that we have support on the backside that really, after that acquisition, we scaled. So that gave us New Braunfels, Fort Worth. We had a smaller location in Dallas. And believe it or not, Dallas and Fort Worth are an hour apart,
Right.
but it's like two separate worlds,
Yeah.
right? People in Fort Worth don't like people in Dallas. People in
Oh,
Dallas
I
don't like
hear
Fort
it.
Worth.
I hear it at the bars in Lubbock.
Yeah.
I'm from Fort Worth. It's not Dallas.
Exactly,
Like, oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry, princess.
Yeah.
Can I get a Chilton? Sure, honey. Sure.
You
go.
know where they're from based on their
Oh,
mannerism.
Yeah. When they say that, you know they're from Dallas. You're like,
100%.
all right, come
Yep.
on, princess.
Yeah.
And then they don't want anything spicy on the food. But anyway, back to boats.
So we did the Dallas and Fort Worth deal, and then at that time, the River Lakes, Lake Dunlap the dam had broke.
That was a wild day.
Yeah, so
Wild.
that broke in 18 or 19, right? Even pre us opening.
Is that 5-6 years ago now?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, for those that don't know, there's 5 lakes in New Braunfels that are just dammed up that are part of the Guadalupe River. All these dams were built, 80 to 100 years ago, and one day out of the blue, it was a pretty blue day, nice day, the dam, literally the dam just broke.
Yep.
And that was the end of Lake Dunlap for, 5 or 6 years.
Yep.
Now, since that's happened, it's triggered a lot of things, and I think the lakes are all going to be great for the next 100 years. But, dude, it was a big mess down here with properties and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it was. Those gates were built in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they were. So at that point, it raised a bunch of red flags for McQueenie and Placid. So then it was. So when we started, we really had Canyon Lake to focus on, and the River Lakes, but they were kind of already in limbo or empty.
But for those that don't know, Blake had to sell something on these rivers, and these rivers got real shallow and real thin. So Blake decides it's a good idea to go get these Havoc boats
I love 'em.
that run up and down, just run up and down these lakes with no water in them. But dude, you see these guys that have lived on the lake, loved the lake their whole life, and then Flanagan goes, "Oh, fuck it, we'll sell them a Havoc boat." And you got videos of them running up and down it, and so he was making gold out of mud.
Whatever the objection is, we have an answer.
Yeah, they do. They do. But it was cool to see, and those are badass boats. I
They
didn't
are,
know
man,
they
yeah.
existed. We would have never seen them down here, probably, if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they're really cool boats. We've done really well. They have a great brand. People love them. We're really the only area that has them within like 250 miles. We've had people from California come by those.
Do
boats
those things have like a 40 horsepower Kawasaki or something?
They've got a 40 horsepower Mud Buddy, which is a Vanguard, which is a mud motor. So we do mud motors, we do jets, and we do standard outboard. So we can equip them however you want.
Damn.
Yeah. They're cool boats, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're really priced. You know what I mean? Is there's flat bottoms that are, you can go to Bass Pro and buy one that I can punch a hole through. These are the toughest flat bottoms you could buy. So, you can buy boat motor trailer for low 20s to 30 grand. So they're affordable for whoever, you know what I mean? And they fit in the garage. They're easy to store, easy to take out. So a lot of people can, if you're looking to get into boating, or younger people that duck hunters, that's really what they're sought after. You know what I mean? So guys love them for that. So they're very versatile to do whatever. Yep.
Nice. So dam breaks, y'all guys are working on. You got 3 stores at this point.
3 stores at the moment.
Is Dallas and Fort Worth up and running at this point?
Yeah, they're running, rocking and rolling and kicking butt. No inventory. Whatever we're getting is pre-sold, so we're rocking, dominating, right?
So COVID, just like at the car dealerships, everybody's trying to find shit to do away from, buildings and people. So the boat business during COVID. You have 3 dealerships. You're selling everything that comes in.
Yep.
And what happened during the boat business or to the boat business during COVID is just crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Couldn't get it fast enough. Couldn't get enough of it. You know what I mean? So everything was selling for good money, and it would show up and it would be spoken for. So people would call around. So we had inventory challenges just like anyone, but as we were growing, and then we acquired the Fort Worth deal, right? They had bigger allocation, et cetera, in that market. So it worked out good. Used boats we were getting. We were doing consignments. Whatever we could get, we were dabbling with. That was in 2020. We knew at that point that we kind of had Fort Worth and Dallas covered, and then we had New Braunfels covered. So there was Lake LBJ, and then there was the Austin market. So when the River Lakes had dam issues, Eric started to go to Horseshoe Bay. And I had never really spent any time out there. I'd been out there, but very little. You know, we always just boated here. So when the water lost here, Eric went out to LBJ, and literally he was like, man, this place is badass.
It's wild, the mentality being around New Braunfels and just kind of staying at your lake. And then you go to LBJ and you see what's there.
Different world.
Completely different world.
Different world, yeah.
And they love it just as much as these people love it down here.
Just two different bank accounts that exist.
A lot more zeros.
Yeah.
So he went up to LBJ, and what happened?
He went up there and basically said, man, we need to put a store here. There's a lot of opportunity here. There's a lot of, you know, the real estate, the resort. Like, it's kind of, you know, and even people now that haven't been out there, they don't realize what it exists an hour and 20 minutes from where we live. And by the way, the lake's constant level. It's huge. You've got the Kingsland side. You've got the Horseshoe Bay side. So Eric had got a place on the Horseshoe Bay side. We were kind of looking for a place to do a dealership. Eric had found a piece of property that was right in Cottonwood Shores, which is a mile from the resort. And he had kind of networked and became friends with the realtor out there, and tried to put a contract on this piece of property that was just this old car wash, metal building, but a good location. Well, we had lost out the contract to someone that was going to put a gas station there, and basically it just kind of got wrote off, right? Well, Eric's phone rang. I don't know what timeline after that. His phone rang, and they had said, hey, this fell through. You can get it. So Eric, we jumped on it. We went there. We walked it. I mean, man, this was a metal building you couldn't even walk. There was like a path this big between equipment, oils, paint cans. Just imagine a shop collecting stuff for 50 years. That's what this shop was. So we had put that under contract. At that time, we knew that we couldn't sell Taiga and ATX there because there was already a dealership there. But we knew that we could do pontoon lines. At that same time, there was multiple golf courses out there. So we had tried to do a deal with Club Car in New Braunfels a little prior to that, and they wouldn't allow us to do it. But we said, okay, well, hey, we're just closing on this. How about this opportunity? And they ended up giving us the Club Car territory in that market too.
Do they run carts on the streets up in Horseshoe Bay?
In the resort area, yeah, there's areas you can. Yep.
Cool.
So everybody's got homes there or condos there. You've got the hotel there. You've got the restaurants there. It's a killer place, right? I mean, there's conventions out there. So when we got the golf cart deal, we started literally Zach and the guys that started the store. I mean, they're working in a metal little bitty container, not even metal. It's like a rock thing, no bigger than this booth. And they're selling golf carts because that's all we really had because the building's getting remodeled. So we got our first little cart. So we're selling golf carts. We start bringing boats up there. And that store starts to get momentum. The store gets done. It turned out really, really nice. If you haven't been to that store, it mimics, all of our stores kind of mimic each other from New Braunfels because it was the first kind of flagship and OG store. So everything we do tries to mimic that, and we scale it from there. And we've lately been adding stuff to kind of step our game up on where we stand and where we look and have that feel when you walk in. It feels like a place you want to spend money and buy a nice boat. So we scaled LBJ. And it took us a while to get towboat lines there. In fact, we didn't get towboat lines besides MB, which was the only thing we could pick up, which is a great boat. But it wasn't a known brand here. We ended up picking up and getting Taiga roughly 6-8 months ago in that market. And pre that, we were selling pontoons and that used boats.
Someone else was selling Taiga around there?
Yeah, there was a competitor selling it down the road.
And they're gone now?
Yeah, now we have Taiga and ATX. Yep.
Cool.
So we picked it up.
Where's ATX out of?
So Taiga is built in Abilene, and ATX is built in Abilene. ATX stands for Abilene, Texas, not Austin, Texas. People think that. But they're built, it's literally the Chevrolet and the Cadillac. You know what I mean? Same assembly line, same
Oh,
equipment.
really? So built out of the same factory?
Same factory, yep.
And which one costs more?
The Taiga, yep.
I think I went in an ATX a couple weeks ago for the first time. It's a nice boat.
Yeah, it's a good boat.
But I now that you say that, you can see the difference between the Taiga and the ATX.
Yeah, everything's just dressed out more. You know, it's literally an Escalade to a Tahoe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I didn't know the difference, but now I know.
Yep. So that we had picked that up. That allowed us to have a store at Horseshoe Bay. And then from there, after we had that store, the last kind of hole in 2022 was Austin. And the Austin Taiga and ATX dealer came available for purchase. So we ended up acquiring that store and purchasing that store on 620. So that filled our gap from, we call it Fort Worth to Mexico. If you wanted to buy a boat, you had to buy it from us, and we had all the markets and the territories and all that. So that's the story of how we got from those to that. And then recently we have opened a store in Marble Falls as a small satellite store on 281.
Yeah.
And then we, as of October of 2024, we recently just acquired and did an asset purchase and picked up Nautique out of San Antonio.
Damn.
And took it to New Braunfels. So now we have Taiga and Nautique at New Braunfels. Then we just got it done in Austin, and now we have it at LBJ. So now we have Taiga and Nautique.
That is a lot of growth in what, 4 years? 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years, yeah.
That is a shit ton of growth.
Yeah, we do sleep, but not much. So yeah, it's been busy, but we have grown our team, man. You know, there's people that
how many employees are at Next Level right now?
85, 90.
Yeah,
roughly in there. Yep.
Damn.
So as a group, you know, our latest deal that we took over was the Austin deal, and now we're at a new location on 183, which is the old Sail and Ski, which has got great history, 30,000 square foot building. We're right on 183, so we've been hustling over the last 60 days. I'm up there a lot, getting that store rocking and rolling.
Is Dallas Fort Worth Dallas or Fort Worth the busiest store, or which is y'all's number one store?
The number one store would be Fort Worth and Dallas. They kind of fight back and forth.
Yeah.
The Fort Worth operation is really big. We do storage there. We've got a huge service center. We're right by an airport, the military airport right there. So the Dallas guys, like my guys Stu and Matt and Tio and Logan, man, I had two guys in Dallas that kicked ass, man. I mean, they do a great job for us. And then I have Colton and Hayden that ran Fort Worth. So Fort Worth was the monster. Dallas slowly started to kind of take up some of it, and then they kind of balanced and fought between the two. But they both the stores kicked butt. Our new Dallas store, this past summer, we moved about 2 miles up the street, so now we're right on Boat Row, call it.
Yeah.
So we have a killer spot we remodeled. We're right by the lake, full service. We used to work out of imagine like a Domino's in a corner, right, in a strip center. That's what we worked out of, but they were kicking ass, man. They were selling a lot of boats out of there. So they did a great job on the internet, and my guys up there, back to lifestyle, they own boats. They're on the water. They eat, sleep, breathe it.
Out every weekend.
Every weekend.
Yeah. Moving on to the Next Level stuff, just for the, I was watching some of the stuff that we put out on the samples yesterday with a guy talking about food and shit on this, and the content coming out was fucking gold. And then I saw TJ Scott, one of our buddies, videoing one of y'all's black and gold boats, I think. Which,
new Paragon.
Damn, it was pretty.
Yeah.
And
we just got it in.
He's such a picky dude.
Oh, yeah.
That would... I mean, even a brand new boat without a scratch probably couldn't make him happy.
Yeah, I love TJ, man, but I met TJ at Woods, and I remember, I think I told him this the first day I met him. I was like, man, this guy's a pain in the ass. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's just a four-wheeler, man. Get over it. It's got a scratch.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, TJ, so me and TJ, we're, hell, TJ, you've known forever, and I've known TJ for about 10 years, and now we're real close. When I started Next Level, he's got good McQueenie power, right? He's been there forever. So I was always, if I can get in with someone that I'm friends with and we can work together and, I win, he wins, that's the name of the game. So I'm always trying to look for those relationships. And when we started, there was a ton of Nautique history there. That's what dominated, was out there. That's what people bought.
Oh, yeah.
So I was selling Taiga against it, and the new Taiga stuff, I always say 19 and 20 up is just night and day, right? We do really well at boat shows because people are literally saying, wow, I didn't know the boat was going to be this nice, because they've stepped their game up just... I mean, it is a superior product that runs with all the big dogs now. So when we got that, I did a deal, got TJ in a boat, but TJ had recently, when we got the Nautique deal done, he, we're getting new inventory in.
Oh shit! He came knocking on the door.
Yeah, literally, I said,
Blake.
I sent him pictures of this one, and I said, you need to come see this thing. It's fucking bad. So I was in Austin yesterday, and he went by, and he's sending videos, you know what I mean? And everybody's, you're talking about it, right? And that's the power of social media, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I talked about that this morning on a sales meeting. Is content, get in front of people. That same boat I posted on Facebook. It's not even on our website yet, and it's had 2 people call from those photos that got screenshotted or shared or tagged and said, hey, what's up with this boat? Where's it at? How much is it?
But because of TJ's pain in the assness and his attention to detail, if that guy's trying to sell you a boat,
Yeah.
you're going to buy it because so he's a great ambassador
100%,
because he'll talk about every detail from the stitching to, how something fits in your hand. And this is why I like this. And I think that's why TJ's successful because his attention to detail.
He's never going to half-ass it.
And on his jobs, his attention to detail works.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the new Paragon, the Nautique stuff that we have, the new level of that boat is, it's the Bentley, right? It's the Mercedes.
Oh shit! I saw it even had custom stitched pillows in the front.
It's got throw pillows in it. You can take a nap in this one, Tommy. You can have 2 or 8, 2 or 4. Yeah, it's got the throw pillow. It's all the little details.
Is that an option? How much is a pillow?
The pillows for all 4 $900.
Holy shit! Hopefully do they float? Hopefully,
yeah, they do.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh man,
you want more pillows? We'll get you more pillows.
Yeah. Those people with too many pillows on
their what's bed. Funny is we went to the Nautique dealer meeting and even before I sold it, I was trying to get pillows from other boats because it's just the little bitty shit that makes you be like, it's got pillows in it.
Damn, I've never seen that on a boat.
Yeah.
But so tell me about the Nautiques. What is unique on a new Nautique? What's the latest and greatest on them?
So in 2025, it's the 100-year anniversary. Oh. So they have got new colors. They just did a full remodel on the G Series. So for the new Paragon, you've got the new telescoping tower. You've got Centennial Black Flake. That boat you saw is a 25-foot P25 with every option on it with the baddest trailer you could get. The boat's got a supercharged motor in it, all Lux Touch material. So if you were to touch the seats in it, it's like no other feel. You've got double screens. Everything is billeted out throughout the boat. I mean, it's literally a Bugatti Bentley boat.
How much does a boat like that go for?
$500,000.
Holy shit!
Yep, $500,000.
Holy shit!
Yep. When you get in this boat, I took my wife to the shop because I was excited. Of course, I've been on cloud 9. I ordered that one as kind of like my demo colors. Like we always build a boat that's, all right, our boats are for sale, but this is, my demo, which that one is. And of course, I know I won't have it in 30 days because someone's going to buy it. It's had a ton of attention. But yeah, that model boat is the top tier boat out of anything else when it comes to, I tell people it's got, compared to other boats in its category, it's got 16 little things that just make it that much nicer. I mean, like the fold-out seats.
What are those things that a Nautique? Is it called a Nautique Paragon?
It's a Paragon. Yep. Mm-hmm.
What are the details on that thing? What are the 16 things?
The tower is telescoping with 3 different levels of drop. It's got double screens. You've got 4 subwoofers in the boat, so it actually has rear subs. And then the back seats on the boat are a flip up. So, and if you saw pictures, they're about as big as this seat right here. So they're like a full lounge chair on the rear. Everything comes standard on it. So supercharged motor. You can do different colors on the windshield. You've got the Lux Touch material that you can only get in the Paragon series. If you go in the bow of the boat, you've got elevated armrest. The stitching on the detail. It's literally every little bitty detail throughout the boat. It's got lights off the tower that when they're on land or in the water, it says a circle of 100. So it's got glowing outside.
Holy shit, how cool.
Yeah, cool.
Damn.
Killer boat, super quiet. I mean, it's literally just, it is an absolute machine. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So everything it does is well, which our new Taiga Ultra, which is our top of the line boat, right, is a 100 to 150 grand less than that boat. And it does everything really awesome. And they actually have their differences, right? I mean, there's things about the Taiga that they do that Nautique doesn't do. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of, when you're in the boats, you can see the differences. Like the Taiga comes with an electric cooler, which is badass. Nobody else has it. You know what I mean? It's got.
That's a good idea on a boat. You don't have to go get ice.
You don't have to buy ice. Exactly. So,
what does a new towboat start at a basic towboat?
$100,000. Yeah, 100 grand. So anywhere from 100 to 500 grand.
I can't believe that they're $500,000.
And if you look at certain markets, that model boat and that size boat is the number one selling boat. So let that sit in your mind.
It's just wild. And that's one of the things that I'm learning is people have different bank accounts. I never knew how people paid me $2, $3, $4, $5, $10,000 for a landscape job.
Yeah.
And people do, and they've got money, and they're buying fun from you.
Yep.
Speaking of $500,000, you've got these Bennington boats or the super fast ones. I never seen this shit either. You've got first it just had a 400 horsepower engine on it, and then who decided let's put 2 of them on there?
So we sell Bennington and Trifecta, and Trifecta is majority of what you see as the twins. I actually cold called those guys when I first started because I knew that they had a really cool boat that was one of the fastest pontoon boats that you could buy, had the sleek style. So we've been a Trifecta dealer since really 2021.
Are those at all the dealerships?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they're at all the dealerships, and that is what you see majority of with the twin motors. So they're very Lamborghini sports car-ish, cool colors, paint match motors. We've got 3 of them in stock. We've got 3 pre-sold already. So those are a normal pontoon boat, which we do sell, from a 90 to 150 horse, which is a $40,000 boat, right? That's about where they start. And a twin 500R race motor supercharged 1,000 horsepower boat that'll run 80 miles an hour is $400 grand.
God.
So
They're gorgeous boats, though, but just the Bennington or Trifecta boat without anything fancy on it is quite a lounge on water.
Yeah, they're hard to beat, man. Pontoon boat, people always ask me, what would you buy? And a pontoon boat, unless you're doing water sports or surfing or want to wakeboard, if you want to go hang out on the boat, a pontoon boat is the cat's meow, man.
I'm down in Port Aransas all the time. I got restaurants down there, and that's all I really, when I do get a boat, it's going to be a pontoon boat.
Yeah,
just to float around the bay, listen to music, have people drinking beer. Yeah, just take it easy. That's what they're the best.
What restaurants do you have in Port A?
I've got Seafood and Spaghetti Works. Blake always.
That's the one that my wife loves that one.
Yeah.
I need reservations, by the way.
So does everybody else. Everybody needs reservations, and I didn't know how popular that place was until I got there, and man, they all need reservations.
Right
during
now.
the summer, it's a 2-hour wait, and we'll do it for buddies. But other
show up, by the way, not show up.
Yeah, other people that aren't buddies, I just kind of look at my phone like, no. But I do that in Lubbock too during game time. Oh man, Lubbock, can you get me in? Can you get me in? So I just turn the phone off and do what I want.
It is my wife's. I think if my wife could say what's her favorite restaurant within here to a couple hundred miles, I mean, we have to go by the spaghetti warehouse.
Well, Seafood and Spaghetti Works has done it right. They make everything from scratch. It's just like Jade, the old owner. His mom made it in Italy, and it's made from scratch to order. And so it's the only restaurant I have that I just consistently crave. And it's been 2.5 years, and I'm headed down there today. And I can't wait to eat there. And that's not the same with my other places. Like, it's just like, whatever. But Seafood and Spaghetti Works is good. Man, it's good.
And you're really in a market where you think you would have shrimp baskets or what you do have the beer house, right? Which I'll kind of bring up on. But it's really one of a few Italian places I feel like down there too. You know what I mean?
And it's genuine Italian.
It is.
And you can't. Great. And I'm not saying it because I own it. You can't go find like fettuccine Alfredo that good anywhere else. I try them everywhere. Crab cakes that are unreal. The chicken parm, if we're sticking with Italian, it's
Pizza's
just good.
Great.
The pizza's made from scratch every single day, and it's top notch. So they really hit the nail on the head with that restaurant, which is why it's been there for 50 years. And man, I'm glad I found it. I'm glad one of our mutual friends, James, runs it. He does a fantastic job. That was just a wild meeting. I was down in Port Aransas. He was down there. We call it the trailer park. They call it resorts. And I said, man, I'm thinking about buying this place. And he had kind of been off of work. He has his bar up in Green, but I went and met him at the trailer park to see if the trailer park was a good spot for me to park for a little while because I was potentially buying this restaurant. And I talked to him. We had coffee in the morning because we both get up early like you. And so he, he chatted and he goes, man, he shot me a text about 2 hours later. He goes, pay me this much money and I'll run that place and I'll lose your fucking phone number.
I like it.
What a way to get a job. And I said, oh, shit.
Deal.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know anything about restaurants? No. Monkey see, monkey do, though. I go, all right, well, let's do it. And to be honest, it's taken he has come along to where he needs to be to run a restaurant. There are definitely challenges. Just like you're saying, the shit that you've learned coming into next level, there's shit you think you know everything, and there is stuff that pops up left and right. And it takes a lot deeper dig to really learn what it takes to run a marine place, a boat sales place, or a restaurant.
Yeah.
But Port Aransas has golf carts, and you guys sell golf carts.
Sold you one.
Yeah. And to be honest, no BS, guys, if y'all need something from the customer service that we got out of Next Level for a golf cart, my golf cart broke down. And if you don't have a golf cart in Port Aransas, I hate driving my car.
Yeah.
And I knew that my golf cart was going to be broken down for like, a week or 10 days. I was like, hey, Blake, I need a golf cart. When can I get it? When can I get it? He goes, what do you want on it? And so he added a couple things. I'll have it down there in 2 days. And so the service that we got from, Next Level's up in New Braunfels, the closest one. But he had it on my doorstep in 2 days. And so, nobody else is going to do that shit. And that's the kind of stuff that it takes to be successful running a boat dealership or any type of establishment. Anybody could be half-assed.
Yep.
But if you're going to be Next Level, that's the kind of shit that it takes. And that's why we refer you to other people. Dude, just call Blake. That's why your phone rings. Just call Blake. It'll show up.
Yeah.
And it does. And that's a part of, I've got a couple sales guys that I'm friends with, and you're one of them that does that type of shit. And that's what it takes.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yep.
So
we live in an Amazon world where you hit a button and you get it, right? That's what they're used to. So you either keep up with it or get left. So, yeah, customer service is always what we're going to make mistakes, right? But we'll always do the right thing, and we're always there, and we're 24/7. So whatever you need, we're here for you.
it takes work, but man, y'all hit the nail on the head and hit it out of the park on the customer service with anybody that I've talked to. Of course, we all fuck up. We mess up. We're human. We've got employees. We got shit going on. They're texting us while we're driving down the road. It's like, oh, I forgot. Sorry. But no, y'all done good. What you need to sell me a golf cart so we have some real. What carts do y'all guys? I don't need a golf cart. I've got one just
You
sitting
need
there.
40 of them.
Yeah, I do need 40 of them, and I actually have a meeting.
Or 50,
Friday.
whatever the number is.
I have a meeting Friday morning on that thing. I got a shit ton of stuff in the air.
Yeah, cool.
We're getting another about acre next to Beer House, which would look great with a Next Level golf cart place on it.
Yeah.
And actually, that'd be a really good idea. Have you heard about a land lease lately?
I've kind of hinted at
Dude.
this plan, and we didn't do it because it got late, and then I got busy. But
Blake, we have the busiest corner
I know.
for golf carts in all of Port Aransas. And a Next Level there with a nice land lease for me would be badass.
11th Street,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, 11th Street, yeah. Would be.
Just sign right here.
Yeah. Live on the podcast.
Just sign here.
Hey, I've been down there and talked to Eric and said, hey, we need to do it, right? And he's like, oh, look. It's not been out of the question, I'll tell you that much.
Dude, it's such a good spot. And it's a great spot. You got a little garage with AC back there to work and service on BS. And there's nobody doing it right down there.
Yeah.
And luckily for you, I know a few guys that can work on all that shit. But we'll look at that later. But what does a golf cart transaction look like? What's the new stuff that they got on these club cars right now?
So we sell Club Car and we sell Atlas, two different brands. We sell Club Car at our Horseshoe Bay Market, and then we sell Atlas at all of our locations. So Atlas has been very innovative. Actually, a friend of mine that started and owns that company. It's based out of Austin. So they're all lithium. So all the electric stuff has gone really kind of crazy. It's where the trends have gone. Except, I'm still a gas fan, especially for like the coast. It's hard to beat the gas cart.
That's what they're saying. Everybody says just buy the gas cart down
because of the
coast.
range, right? And as big as if you want to run all day or drive down the beach. So it's the gas stuff in the Port Aransas market is great. As you come up here, more inland stuff, everybody's pushing more electric and lithium. I personally still have a gas cart, but I'm in the mix of building a crazy, just like anything, man. I'm literally building a club car that I just got that I'm putting a 850 Navitas kit. It should be able to ride wheelies, do burnouts, and do 50 miles an hour.
And is it gas?
It's electric, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's electric, yeah. I literally am starting the project. Like, it's sitting outside right now. It's behind the truck.
Dang.
So I'm literally starting that project just because it's obnoxious and cool, and who doesn't want to see a golf cart ride a wheelie, right?
And then just flip it and sell it later.
Kind of create the buzz, and somebody's going to call me and want it and do another one.
Yeah.
So yeah, golf carts are, we deliver wherever, we can service you wherever. We sell a ton all across, so whatever you need, everything's on the website. We treat you, whether you're buying a golf cart or a $500,000 boat, we treat you the same.
What about those sweet little crew cars?
The Club Car Crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool rig. They seat 6 people. They're like a mini limo, so 2 up front, and then a wraparound in the back with a table up top. They get a ton of attention. People have been real happy with them. I think that they're going to transition those into lithium. I wish they offered that.
Are they
gas?
gas?
No, they're electric. So the coast, man, the range isn't there for it. For neighborhoods and grain, you'll see them. They're great for that. But for a long haul down there, they're just not. I think they're going to get to where they need to be, but not right now. For down there.
What do those things start and finish at?
20 to 30 grand.
They're cool as shit. They're really neat. That'd
Yep.
be sweet to see the Johnson family just riding down the road, sipping wine
Yeah,
on
that's
that
what they're
thing
perfect for, man.
with a charcuterie board on there.
Yeah, 100%. The table comes in and out. The table's killer. If you're in that rig anywhere, people are like, what is this?
Yeah, it's a cool looking thing.
Yeah.
Well, I got to it earlier, but let's wrap up with first of all, where is Next Level going? What's y'all's goal with Next Level?
Man, we have the answer is, are we done? No. Are we happy with where things are? Yeah, currently, as over the last year, we've made a lot of changes, and now we've got any of the store that wasn't performing. We've kind of made the moves or got brands and got everything dialed, and all of our staff, I feel like that our team behind the scenes, and even some of the the controllers, my finance people, all the people you don't even see, right? Reza, Jenna, Michael. There's people that make stuff happen on these acquisitions that are James, one of our guys, our analyst, man. He's without him, none of this shit would be possible.
I got 2 ladies that I say they run my life.
Yeah,
and without them, I don't know where I would be.
We're just the front face, right? But behind the scenes, without them, it doesn't work.
At all.
Yeah.
And that is the truth. I've got, man, I would not know what to do without these girls. Yeah. And I tell people I throw up shit and they put it in place. And I'm not an organized dude, so that they help a ton.
Yeah. So we're always looking to grow. We've ventured of going out of Texas to a couple different markets. I feel like for the most part, we're everywhere except Houston. We're not at the coast. The cart deal is something to entertain. We kind of stick to what we like and what we're good at, right? I mean, none of us are diehard Coast Fish guys. We do sell Sensation, which are those cool center consoles we didn't hit on. Those are badass boats that we have done well with. There's actually one that I sold to a buddy, T-Dex. His is down at the coast and bounces back and forth. So we're always looking for the right opportunity, kind of like you. If something comes up or if we can scoop something, we'll always entertain it. There's been talks of, Ozarks and trying to do something there. So we've really branched out and made enough noise in the market. We came in as underdogs, man. Nobody knew who we were, and we had to swing and fight.
And kind of an odd location. That spot right before the exit ramp in New Braunfels has kind of been a few different things.
Yep.
And y'all jumped in there and started, and then now you're all over Texas.
Yep.
What, where else is really busy that I didn't know about until I started flying people up there is Whitefish, Montana.
Oh, yeah.
They got boat dealerships up there, and those guys, I didn't know this either, but that is people with disposable income live up there. Those houses, I looked up at like a house that you'd see on McQueenie or Dunlop or wherever that might be $1.5 million, $10 million.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
that's crazy.
they got the $500,000 boats up there.
I would love to be at the Ozarks. If there's something that we don't have that I love is the Go Fast. We sell the Go Fast pontoons, but there is another level of boating that exists out there in the center console and the cat world that, they're small boats, 1.2, 1.3, you know what I mean? But they'll have more money in boats than they will property. It's just they'll have 2 or 3, right? Their houses is a like this is the hangar. Their docks are they're into it. So I like the scene out there. So.
I've seen it. And then how long can you finance one of these boats
20
for?
years.
Holy shit.
10% down. Come see us.
We'll get it done.
Yeah, let's get it done.
It's wild. Last question before we get out of here, and I love it because I get so many different answers, is what is Blake Flanagan's definition of success? What's that look like to you?
Freedom, financial freedom. And man, I always say I never see myself just saying I'm done and retired. I always see myself doing something. So if we can build this business, right, to, like you said, employing people, right, providing for their families, making it a fun place that they love to work. I would say that our staff, everybody enjoys what they do. They love coming to work. We have a very positive culture within and a culture that we do without. So if we have a fun place for people to come, they enjoy what they do, we scale it, we build it. There's a saying that, I'm not real picky on what I sell. I'd sell trash cans or toys or whatever. I don't care. We'll make it fun and entertaining. So scaling the business to where it's sustainable and everybody's having a good time, making good money and financial freedom. So I think that's something that I would say.
And how fun has it been for you to go from just a sales guy to a owner, and how much have you learned?
Owning a business is not easy, and you have no minutes or days off at all. But the freedom of being able to do this, right? Like if I worked for someone, this probably isn't as easy to go do. So you work, you grind, but then you can adapt and you can have the time that you want to go do something. I don't have to call. If I want to go drive to the coast with you today, I could probably go do that. That's the freedom of having that versus working for someone that you don't have.
I'm more worried about getting fired working from someone else than I am about failing on working for myself.
I'm addicted to winning, no matter what it is. So I think that, that's something that I want to build to the team and create good leaders, and they have the same work ethic and mindset that I do. So.
Well, this is all measurable. On how many? I mean, on dollars in, boats out. Yeah, it's a measurable thing. Mm-hmm. Well, dude, we appreciate you coming by. I'm so glad that you. I'm so glad that you stopped by.
Thanks for having me.
I've been watching. That's why I tell these people it's terrible. Like, well, I've been watching what you've been doing.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I say I've been researching you, which is also stalking you. Yeah. But it's so neat from a business perspective to track how people got to where they were. And I think at the end of the day, it's 90% of the battle is showing up. And then giving it your, 90, 100% when you're there, and you're a success story of doing that.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I saw your Facebook post, and I think you said who's interested, and I think I put me and raised my little emoji hand.
I have I need to put a post out there. I have several months booked out.
Nice.
But I need to go about, and I've called a few people out, and they're like, yeah. And you just see these people that are moving and shaking and want to see, what they're up to.
Yeah.
And it's wild that Facebook has made it like that, or Instagram, and you drive by. I didn't even know where y'all's locations are sometime, and I'll be in the fucking Dallas. I'm like, oh, there's Next Level. Or I was in Austin. I hadn't been there, like, oh, there's Next Level. And so it's just wild how all this shit works.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yep.
Anyway, well, I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, brother.
Wrap
I appreciate
it up
you, man.
And get out of here.
Back to work.
Yes, sir. See ya.
Go. Later, man. What do you think?
That's
good?
Fucking fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, we went an hour